In the 1970s, the state of Michigan was gripped by a terror unlike any other. A shadowy figure, known only as the Babysitter, cast a dark pall over the community. Parents lived in fear, children were kept indoors, and the sense of safety that once blanketed the neighborhoods was shattered. This faceless menace earned the chilling nickname, the Babysitter, for the way they preyed on the most innocent among us. The whispers of their deeds spread like wildfire, creating an atmosphere thick with dread and suspicion. As we delve into this harrowing chapter of Michigan's history, prepare yourself for shocking revelations and unsettling details. The mystery of the Babysitter is one that has haunted the state for decades, and today, we aim to unmask the truth behind Michigan's darkest days. The Babysitter's reign of terror left a trail of broken families and shattered innocence. Each victim, a young life full of promise, was snatched away in a methodical, chilling pattern. First was Mark Stebbins, a 12-year-old boy who disappeared on February 15, 1976. His body was found 4 days later, meticulously bathed and clothed, lying in a public area. The community was stunned, unable to fathom the evil that had touched their lives. Next came Jill Robinson, an 11-year-old girl who vanished on December 22, 1976. Her lifeless body was discovered the very next day, also bathed and redressed, left in plain sight. The horror was palpable, and the fear began to spread. Christine Mihalich, just 10 years old, went missing on January 2, 1977. Like the others, she was found after 19 days, cleaned and dressed, placed in a public location as if to mock the authorities and the community. The final known victim was Timothy King, the 11-year-old boy who disappeared on March 16, 1977. His body was found 6 days later, meticulously bathed and clothed, left in a public area. Timothy's death sent shockwaves through Michigan, solidifying the terror that had gripped the state. The pattern was unmistakable. Abduction, care taken to bathe and redress them, and the methodical way they were left in public places. Each child was treated with an eerie semblance of care, only to meet a tragic end. The Babysitter's twisted sense of control and the meticulous nature of their crimes left an indelible mark on Michigan, a haunting reminder of innocence lost. As we continue to unravel this dark chapter, we must remember the young lives that were stolen and the families left in perpetual mourning. Their stories are the heart of this mystery, a chilling testament to the evil that lurked in the shadows. As the tragic pattern of abductions and murders began to unfold, law enforcement agencies in Michigan were thrust into a desperate search for answers. The initial response to the disappearances was one of urgency and alarm, but the sheer terror of the crimes demanded a more coordinated effort. In response, a major task force was formed, pooling resources from local police, the FBI, and state troopers. The task force worked tirelessly, combing through every lead and tip that came their way. Each clue, no matter how small, was meticulously examined. The community was on edge, contributing to a flood of information, some helpful, some misleading. The meticulous nature of the crimes, the bathing, the redressing, the public display of the bodies, added a layer of complexity that baffled investigators. As days turned into weeks, the pressure mounted. The task force received hundreds of tips, ranging from sightings of suspicious individuals to peculiar activities in the neighborhoods. They explored every avenue, from known sex offenders to drifters passing through the area. Each lead brought a glimmer of hope, only to be extinguished by dead ends and false alarms. One of the most significant breaks came when a witness reported seeing a young boy being led away by a man in a blue AMC Gremlin. This tip invigorated the investigation, leading to a massive search for the vehicle and its owner. Despite the intense scrutiny, the elusive Babysitter remained one step ahead, leaving no physical evidence behind. The task force's frustration grew as the Babysitter's chilling pattern continued unchecked. Every new disappearance and subsequent discovery of a lifeless child deepened the sense of dread and urgency. The investigation was a race against time, a battle of wits against an unseen adversary who seemed to relish the fear and chaos they created. As we delve deeper into this harrowing case, we uncover the relentless efforts of law enforcement to unmask the babysitter. The investigation was a testament to their dedication, but also a stark reminder of the challenges they faced in the face of such calculated evil. The quest for justice was fraught with obstacles, but the resolve to bring closure to the grieving families never wavered. As the investigation progressed, the task force began to zero in on several key suspects. Each suspect brought a new wave of hope, only to end in bitter frustration. Among the most notable was Chris Bush, a convicted pedophile with a disturbing history. Bush's profile fit the chilling nature of the crimes, and evidence suggested he had been in the area during the disappearances. But despite the circumstantial links, no concrete evidence could tie him directly to the murders. Then there were other suspects, like Archibald Edward Sloan, whose hair was found in the car linked to the crimes. Sloan, a known criminal, became a person of interest, but the evidence was not definitive. The investigation even touched on high-profile individuals, including wealthy businessmen and local politicians, each theory more tantalizing than the last, but always leading to dead ends. The task force also explored the possibility of a network of offenders. This theory suggested that the babysitter was not a lone wolf, but part of a more extensive, more sinister operation. However, this line of inquiry only added layers of complexity to an already convoluted case. Every new lead brought a mixture of hope and dread. The community watched with bated breath as names were released and suspects questioned. But each time, the trail went cold, leaving families and investigators in a state of perpetual anguish. The meticulous nature of the crimes, combined with the lack of physical evidence, kept the babysitter shrouded in mystery. As we peel back the layers of this dark tale, we find ourselves grappling with more questions than answers. Who was capable of such calculated cruelty? Was the babysitter someone hiding in plain sight, or a ghost that vanished as quickly as they appeared? The search for the truth became a labyrinth of theories and dead ends, a haunting reminder of the elusiveness of justice. As the nightmare of the babysitter unfolded, the community of Oakland County was plunged into a state of perpetual fear. Parents clung to their children a little tighter, eyes scanning for any sign of danger. The once safe neighborhoods were now shadowed by suspicion and dread. Local news outlets relentlessly covered the story, their headlines screaming of the latest horrors. Every broadcast brought fresh waves of panic as the media speculated on the killer's next move. The community was gripped by a relentless cycle of fear and uncertainty. Children, once carefree and adventurous, were now confined to their homes. Playgrounds stood eerily empty, and the laughter that once echoed through the streets was replaced by an unsettling silence. Schools implemented new safety measures, and stranger danger became an all-too-familiar term. The emotional toll on the families of the victims was immeasurable. Grief-stricken parents struggled with the loss of their children, while the fear of the unknown gnawed at the community's collective psyche. Candlelight vigils and community meetings became common, as neighbors sought solace in each other's company. The fear was palpable, a dark cloud hanging over every household. Every knock on the door, every unfamiliar face, was met with trepidation. The babysitter had not only stolen the lives of 4 innocent children, but had also shattered the sense of security within the community. As the investigation dragged on with no resolution in sight, hope began to wane. The community was left to grapple with the harsh reality that the monster responsible for the terror could be anyone, anywhere. The sense of vulnerability was overwhelming, and the scars of that fear would remain etched in the hearts of Oakland County's residents for years to come. As the community remained engulfed in fear, investigators worked tirelessly to piece together the puzzle of the babysitter. Several crucial clues emerged, each one bringing a glimmer of hope, but ultimately leading to more questions than answers. Witnesses reported seeing a blue AMC Gremlin near the scenes of the abductions. This car became a symbol of the investigation, a potential link to the elusive killer. However, despite numerous tips and sightings, the vehicle never led to a concrete suspect. Physical evidence was sparse but significant. Fibers found on the victims suggested they had been in a car, but the specific make and model remained a mystery. Additionally, there were traces of dog hair, hinting that the killer might have had a pet. These fragments of evidence provided tantalizing hints, but no definitive answers. One of the most chilling aspects of the case were the cryptic letters received by some of the victims' families. These letters, filled with taunting messages and disturbing details, suggested a twisted mind at work. Handwriting analysis and linguistic experts were brought in, but the letters only deepened the mystery, failing to reveal the identity of the sender. Despite the breakthroughs in forensic science over the years, the DNA evidence collected was either too degraded or insufficient to pinpoint a suspect. Advances in technology rekindled hope, but the elusive nature of the killer kept the case shrouded in darkness. Why have these clues not led to the capture of the babysitter? Theories abound, from the possibility of the killer being a skilled manipulator who stayed one step ahead, to the tragic reality that some pieces of the puzzle may forever remain missing. The investigation, while thorough, was plagued by dead ends and false leads. The frustration of the detectives was palpable, their dedication unwavering, yet the answers remained just out of reach. Despite the intense efforts by law enforcement and the breakthrough clues, the case of the babysitter tragically went cold. The community, gripped by fear and uncertainty, watched as the investigation hit one dead end after another. The blue AMC Gremlin, the fibers, the dog hair, and the cryptic letters all painted a murky picture, but none provided the clarity needed to apprehend the killer. Years turned into decades, and the once fervent search for the babysitter became a haunting reminder of justice unserved. Families of the victims, carrying the weight of their loss, continued to seek answers, driven by the hope that one day the truth would emerge. Law enforcement, too, never fully closed the book on this case. Advances in forensic science and renewed interest in cold cases provided glimmers of hope, but the elusive nature of the killer remained a formidable barrier. The legacy of the babysitter is a chilling testament to the fragility of safety and the enduring impact of unresolved tragedy. The pain of the victims' families is a stark reminder that some wounds never fully heal, and some mysteries remain unsolved, casting long shadows over the lives they touch. As we reflect on Michigan's darkest days, we remember the innocent lives lost and the relentless pursuit of justice. The babysitter may have evaded capture, but the community's spirit and the determination of those left behind ensure that the search for truth continues. Closure remains elusive, but hope endures. As the years rolled on and the case of the babysitter grew colder, advancements in forensic science began to reignite hope. DNA technology, once in its infancy, has now become a powerful tool in the arsenal of modern investigators. In recent years, cold case units have revisited the evidence, meticulously analyzing every fiber, hair, and trace left behind. One of the most promising developments came from the re-examination of the dog hair found on the victims. With modern DNA profiling, experts have been able to narrow down the breed and potential origins, providing a new lead that was previously unimaginable. This, coupled with advancements in genetic genealogy, has opened up avenues that were once closed. The public's interest in the case has also seen a resurgence, fueled by true crime documentaries and podcasts. Crowdsourcing efforts have led to new tips and theories, keeping the memory of the victims alive and the search for the babysitter active. In 2019, a dedicated task force was assembled, bringing together seasoned investigators and fresh eyes. They have been combing through old files, re-interviewing witnesses, and using the latest technology to uncover new clues. The blue AMC Gremlin, once a symbol of dead ends, is now a focal point in digital reconstructions and public appeals for information. Despite these efforts, the identity of the babysitter remains shrouded in mystery. But the advancements in forensic science and the relentless pursuit of justice offer a glimmer of hope. The families of the victims, while still carrying the weight of their loss, find solace in knowing that the search continues and that closure, though elusive, is not out of reach. As we move forward, we must remember the importance of these modern investigations and the role each of us can play in seeking justice. With every new theory and every technological breakthrough, we inch closer to unmasking the babysitter and bringing peace to those affected by Michigan's darkest days. As we delve deeper into the chilling tale of the babysitter, we are left with more questions than answers. Who was this person that brought fear to the heart of Michigan? Why did they target these innocent children, caring for them before ending their young lives? These are the questions that continue to haunt the families, the investigators, and the community at large. Was the babysitter someone familiar, blending into the fabric of everyday life? Or were they a transient shadow, passing through and leaving a trail of heartbreak? The motivation behind these heinous acts remains a dark enigma. Was it a twisted sense of care, a disturbed mind seeking control, or something even more sinister? The advancements in forensic science and the relentless efforts of modern investigators bring hope, yet the mystery endures. Will we ever truly know the identity of the babysitter? Can closure be found for the families who have suffered for so long? These haunting questions linger, casting a shadow over Michigan's history. As we ponder the chilling nature of this case, we are reminded of the fragility of innocence and the darkness that can lurk in the most unexpected places. As we reach the end of our journey into the chilling saga of the babysitter, we are left with a lingering sense of unease. The Oakland County child killer case is not just a story of lost lives and shattered families. It is a stark reminder of the fragility of security and the enduring quest for justice. The impact of this case ripples through the annals of true crime, leaving an indelible mark on the community of Oakland County and beyond. For the families of the victims, the pain is a daily reality, a wound that time has not healed. For the investigators, both past and present, it is a relentless pursuit, a puzzle that demands resolution. This case remains one of America's most haunting unsolved mysteries, a testament to the darkness that can lurk in the shadows of everyday life. The advancements in forensic science and modern investigative techniques offer a glimmer of hope, but the identity of the babysitter remains shrouded in mystery. As we reflect on this case, we must remember the importance of vigilance and community. The stories of these innocent children must not be forgotten, and the quest for justice must continue. Share their stories, keep their memories alive, and be a part of the ongoing effort to bring closure to the families who have suffered for so long. Stay curious, stay cautious, and remember, some stories are darker than they seem. The babysitter's shadow still looms over Michigan, a chilling reminder that the quest for justice is never over. Will you help keep the story alive? Will you be part of the voice that demands answers and seeks the truth?